is copywriting still worth it in 2025? Because you've got dudes like these telling you about how much money you can make, about how easy it is, about how AI is changing the game. You've also got people telling you that AI is coming for copywriters and that copywriting isn't needed. So what's the truth? Is copywriting still worth it? Should you be focusing on scaling your copywriting business, or should you be jumping ship and focusing elsewhere? Now, I'm going to give you a raw, honest approach today. I'm going to tell you about, my experience, the income I'm making, how things have changed, but I'm also going to be pulling back the curtain and showing you everything about, a bunch of other copywriters' experience and giving you a raw, honest view, a sneak peek and an insight into what it's actually like to be a copywriter in 2025. The money they're making, the people we're working with, everything that you want to know so that you can make the best decision and the best judgment possible. So we could start by talking about my own results, and it's easy to talk about my own results. I could talk about them all day long for as long as anyone will listen to me. But I took myself from about 3K a month to averaging around 20K a month. Last month was 17, this month was 20, the month before the last month was 25. So it sort of averages around 20. I took my investment portfolio from 3-4 grand to over 50K. I went from driving a Punto to driving, a really nice BMW that I'm really proud of, that I own outright. Um, I went from living, working, doing everything in the spare bedroom of my girlfriend's parents' house to living in a beautiful 2-bedroom cottage by the coast. And I went from just traveling in my own crappy van conversion to traveling to 9 different countries last year alone. All right. So, in my opinion, yes, copywriting is still worth it. But I know people are going to think I got lucky. I was here before AI, I was established, and all of those like relevant concerns. Okay. And I respect you for doing your proper due diligence and taking the time to look into this. So, let's pull back the curtain. Like I said, let's talk about some other people. Now, I have got a bunch of testimonials and interviews on my other channel. So if you want like a more detailed breakdown of people's experience, feel free to go check them out right now. But I want to share some actual stuff that I've like put on this board for you to take a look at. So not only have my students done some really cool things in the industry. For example, you got Thomas, who outperformed Iman Gadzhi's email marketer, stole the client back off of that marketer, and increased his retainer. You got Mate, who's literally smashing the outreach for Charlie Morgan's outreach offer. So all of these offers you see where Charlie Morgan's getting 180 clients in 180 days, it's my students that are writing those outreach messages. Okay. So as you can see here, like I'm the one giving feedback and consulting on this stuff before Charlie Morgan ever sends it out. We've also got, this is crazy. One of my 16-year-old students is a copywriter for Jason Fladlian. After 2.5 years, he was struggling to close clients. After working with me, he landed this big fish and is now responsible for, 9-figure launches with Alex Hormozy, 8-figure launches with Iman Gadzhi, and even consulting on offers like Tony Robbins offers. Okay, so huge names in the space. And that's not it. I've also got a dude fresh out of school who's working with Richard Yu, as you can see here. So big players, A players in the space are still like out looking for copywriters. They're still, they value copywriting. So that alone should tell you whether copywriting's worth it. But look, you can also use copy to launch your own businesses. So I've got students that have, secured 45K investments for his own supplement brand that's now crushing it. He's like, hosting events, scaling his brand, all alongside his service-based business as well, So yes, not only have they done some really cool things in the industry, but they've made a bunch of cash in the process, right? You've got Carol here, who's 11x his income in the past 2 months. He's getting huge revenue share deals. Basically, like he's having to start rejecting clients because so many are coming to him. As you can see here, a 3K gig that just came to him using the magnetic client method. By the way, if you want to talk more about the magnetic client method, feel free to check out the description below and book a call in where we can have a quick 15-minute chat to see if it's the right fit for you. No pressure either way, but that's just a shameless plug over. But as you can see here, like he went from earning just like $300 a month to over 4K a month in the first month. All right, first couple months. Now, as you can see, loads of deals. He's becoming fully magnetic. He's having to turn projects away, and it's awesome to see. But that's just one. All right, you got Tom, who is traveling the world. He went to 7 countries in 1 month. Like just after leaving school, making a bunch of cash, closing deals through social media, absolutely living it up and embodying what it means to be a successful copywriter. So we've also got Altaf, who doesn't speak English as his first language. He's from India, so every prospect he gets on a call with is probably judging him before he jumps on the call. Yet he's still managed to make it to 5K a month. As you can see, like closing nice deals there. Like he only had to send 23 outreach to book 4 calls and close 3. Like easy little one-off projects. 5K a month there, as you can see, but also smashing huge revenue share deals where he's generating amazing results for his clients. So all of this is possible. All of this is happening right now. Okay. And this is all stuff that you could do as well. And this isn't it, right? We've also got Levy, who I mentioned before with his supplement brand up there, who's smashing 10K months. And as I said, speaking at events, scaling his own ads, like ownership over his own business, all thanks to the skill of copywriting. You've got Carol number two, the second Carol in the group, who's just, within his first week was turning old deals into more money, reached 5K a month, it was just like invoicing, sending invoices every week, traveling, living the life. And you've also got Louis, who engaged to his girlfriend while in the group. It was awesome. We got to share that, together as a group and celebrate that win for him. But yeah, he's also on 5 to 5.5K a month, closing new discovery projects with deals that are actually aligned to him, moving into the space he wants to move into, but also just from smashing results for his clients, like huge, huge results that are making work easy for him and attracting him new deals without him having to constantly do outreach. All right. So as you can see, there is a bunch of people making money. If you're still wondering if copywriting is worth it, well, here's a bunch more random wins that could have been yours. 5 clients in 3 weeks, 16-year-old making money, premium clients. This guy closed a deal with a YouTuber with over 100 million, sorry, with over 1 million subs, doing 100K a month. Easy AI money, quick cash, 9.5K wins, nice little bonuses on top of the work, 4K a month, easy outreach. Only sent 3 outreach to land a small gig, funnel copy, email copy, everything you could think of. There is dudes crushing it right now. Okay. And there are people making the money that you want to make right now. So is copywriting still worth it in 2025? 100%. The problem is the version that most people are chasing no longer exists. You can't just be some hustler bro with, no sales assets, with no systems and no structure. You need to treat yourself like a proper business. And that's exactly what we do inside the Magnetic Client Method. I'm going to give you everything from systems, processes. We're going to go over your ICP, your offer, and give you everything you actually need, all of the foundations you need in place to scale predictably, reliably, and consistently. So if you want to have a quick, no pressure 15-minute chat, just check out the link in the description and let's talk about how we can get similar results for you and your business. Because like I said, talking about my own results is easy, but it's things like seeing Tom travel to 7 countries in a month after leaving school. Things like Carol, he almost had to get a job, but now he's 11x his income. His missus doesn't have to work. He's, paying for his home and he's rich in his home country. All right. So I really want you to take this on board and realize that copywriting is such a good opportunity where you can really change your life and your lifestyle, but also provide for the people around you. But other than that, take care and I will catch you in the next one.